To find the distance across a river, a surveyor laid off a distance, BC, of 354 meters on one side of the river. It is found that angle B is 112 degrees 10 minutes and angle C is 15 degrees 20 minutes. So find AB. So yeah, this is really interesting. This is a process of triangulation. And what you can think about is it's hard to measure the distance across the river, right? But you could potentially use a device to get this length because you can walk along the river. And then you could use some sort of angle measurement device to get these angles. And so with that, we've got two angles and a side length. And when we have that, it doesn't matter if we have a right triangle or not. Any triangle, we can solve that triangle using the law of sines. If you've got two angles and a side length, you can use the law of sines to solve the triangle. Now, there's also the case where if you have two side lengths and an angle, you can still use the law of sines, but we're going to talk about those cases in the next section. So, okay, with the law of sines, you know that the ratio of the sine of an angle to the side length opposite that angle, those ratios are all constant for the entire triangle. So we've got this side length here, but to use the law of sines, we want to get the sine of the angle opposite that, which we don't have. But since we have two angles, we can solve for this third angle here because we know the sum of all the angles of any triangle is 180 degrees. So, okay, what is 112 degrees 10 minutes plus 15 degrees 20 minutes? Well, all right, 112 plus 15 is 127 degrees. Okay, but then add to that 20 minutes plus 10 minutes, so that's going to be 30 minutes. So 112 degrees, 30 minutes. Or 127 degrees, 30 minutes. Okay, so now we can use the law of sines. So we know 127 degrees, 30 minutes is 127.5 degrees. So, okay, we're trying to solve. This is side C. This is side B, but we shouldn't need to. We don't need to solve for side B, side length B. Just side length C is what we're looking for. So, okay, we're looking for side length C, and so side length C divided by sine of this angle. So let's put this in decimal form. 20 minutes is what fraction of a degree? That's a third of a degree. So we've got sine of 15 and a third degree. That's 46 thirds degrees. Right, 15 and 1/3. 15 times 3 is 45 plus 1. Okay, now let's pick another pair of angle and side length. So, well, we have this side length over here. So, okay, 354, and then sine of 127.5 degrees. 30 minutes is a half of a degree. So the distance across the river is 354 times sine of 46 thirds degrees over sine of 127.5 degrees. So, okay, 354, we're in degree mode, times sine of 46 thirds divided by sine of 127.5. About 118 meters. So that's AB. Pretty cool how triangulation works.